Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Jump In podcast, episode number 7. I am LoganSama, your host, and as always, the three of us are here once more. Kim1234 joins us from Japan. Hello.
What up?
And Mr. ShadyK is joining us via satellite phone, I think, from California. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Can't see your mouse move, but it's all good.
What the okay. Whatever.
Like, Shady's
Just do
experiencing
this
some
shit.
technical difficulties, so just for this episode, though, it won't be like this later.
I mean, you guys are fine on my end. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Whatever.
Good, man. People can hear you, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to all the people that are listening to the podcast as well. Obviously, we are now available on iTunes and SoundCloud. If you didn't know, you can watch the videos on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/thejumpin. So check that out. Subscribe.
/C.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
/C/the-jumpin, because it's a channel, obviously. Or just search for the Jump-In, no spaces, and it will come up in the list of channels on YouTube.
there's been a lot of good feedback. I love hearing it.
Capcom Pro Tour is rolling on. I think there's an event every week, and we just had our first ranking event in the UK, which was Hype Spotting 5 in Glasgow. I was there. It was great fun. If you haven't checked it out, you can watch the archives on Twitch, twitch.tv/versus Scotland, VERSUS Scotland. And I think the Hype Spotting top 8 is on YouTube as well, if you want to watch that. I was on commentary with the janitor from Glasgow. There were some interesting comments about his accent, but it was good fun commentating. And we had some great sets as well. Problem X took it, proving once again that Bison is the best character in the game without any doubt or disagreement.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
You guys want this to be a two-man show? Then it could be a two-man show, okay? As long as this podcast is about real opinions. I know this is a nice good old troll and everything, but Bison's not the best. Problem X is the best. How about that?
Listen, Europe has been showing you guys how to play Dictator for years now. Gagapa, Phenom, good stuff. Just take some notes.
Two guys.
To play real dictators. Europe knows about real dictators.
By the way, I fucking love the fighting game community. It's the only community where you have to play down how good your character is. And no other community is like that. No other community is like, oh yeah, my character sucks. It's like, what the fuck, you're an idiot then, because this is your job. Why are you like bringing a knife to a gunfight if this is how you make a living? Fighting game community is the only community where it makes excuses about the character they pick. It's like, alright, that doesn't make any sense. Like if I don't know.
I would say over half say that. That's
a very British sensibility, so I find it hilarious, like downplaying so much. But yeah, I don't understand why people pick characters they know suck. Like they know that they suck.
Exactly.
Like
they don't rationalize it like that. Like there's definitely a lot of people stray away from the number one best character in the game. First of all, it's a challenge not to use the best character. You want to be real. You know what I'm saying? Be real. Win with your skills, not
That's
because...
stupid. I don't give a shit. That's so fucking dumb. If this is your goddamn job, fucking pick the best tools for the job.
No, I'm just saying that's what a lot of people,
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that mindset is retarded. No, that shit upsets the shit out of me. Like that makes me so.
We don't have any sponsors, Shady. Thank you.
No, the best part is a screen cap right now on your camera. It's the best. Like you can't see it, but you will see it. It's the best.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the challenge, and I don't know why they do it. Like, I don't do it because I want to be a low tier god. I play whoever fits my style. It's hard to define. It's hard to explain what your style is and how people come to that conclusion. But I play whatever is my style. If my style is the best, then I'm even happier. That's just it. Most people, they just right now, there's not a lot of Chun-Li's I've noticed in America, because I think at first the general consensus was she's the best, and now I think people are leaning towards Ryu now. So there might be more Chun-Li's and less Ryus. Like that's my prediction right now.
I've noticed that in America, where people like actively avoid characters they think are like not the best, but like cheap, I guess. Like no one played Abel for years. No one played Abel for years. Like, and I went to New York in 2010, I think it was, when Super came out, just before Marvel came out.
Okay.
And everyone in New York could play Abel. Everybody, but like no one played him in tournament. I was like, why don't you play him? Like, his character's cheap. So why play him then? Like, but actively avoiding. Like there was no Yuns apart from like Cien in America as well. When Young was like super good. You guys didn't have any Fei Longs for forever. Like you had like one Fei Long. What was that guy's name?
Pure Rog.
No. Like the first Fei Long white guy played on a pad, like shaved head. What was his name?
White guy played on a pad?
I don't remember at all.
From what
There was a...
That was like in the Wolf Crone era.
CJ Truth played Faye, that little kid.
Yeah, not the kid. He was good as well. Like he didn't have enough like overpowered character use.
Do you know what region?
In that damn
East Coast.
No, I think no. The most criminal example of that is there were no Akumas. But then Akuma's kind of hard to play if you don't have a lot of practice.
Akuma's like slightly excusable, except like a top player should be able to play Akuma because a top player truly studies the game. I think that is very odd.
You had like 3 Rufuses in the country and no Akumas. It was
Street Fighter 4 was vanilla characters, even in Ultra. Everyone's playing vanilla characters. It's silly.
Yes, yeah. Everyone has the stupid character loyalty thing.
Is that it, or is it just laziness? I don't know.
It's probably just laziness and that. I don't know.
Oh dear, but yeah.
Good job, Problem X. Proud of you, boy.
All right.
Luffy
So
second?
he actually ended up beating Luffy in grand finals, which was interesting because Luffy struggled with, I think he was using Nash at Cannes Winter Clash, France, earlier in the season. I'm not sure if I wasn't there. I didn't make that one. I was working. I think he got out of pools, but he didn't like place.
He didn't. Kindavu and Luffy and Venom were in the same pool. Venom got out and losing. Yeah. It was a rough pool for sure. But I think he almost beat Kindavu in winners. So he could have made out in winners in pools. But I mean, that's after the fact. No one's going to remember that it almost happened or whatever. I mean,
should have.
He played Fang at the time, but I saw him at the arcade today. At the arcade, he uses Laura now, of course.
Okay. Not enough Laura's as well. She's a fucking good character.
Yeah.
I think
especially in Fighter 5.
I think people kind of stray away. They naturally want to use the simple, strong characters. I mean, maybe not strong, but the simple characters, easy to get. I think Laura is a bit complicated. She kind of.
What's complicated about Laura is getting the knockdown in the first place because her footsies suck ass. Other than that, she is like flowchart upon flowchart of meat.
She's essentially Makoto. It's very, very accurate. It's very similar. She just goes ham.
Her movement is complex, so I think that's where that discourages people.
And then it's not intuitive how to use your fireball. It's in a neutral game, at least.
Yeah.
But man, does she hit hard?
Everyone hits hard in the.
I met Afi. So Afi got like 5th or 7th or something like that. Do you recall?
Hype spotting.
He lost to Valmaster. Valmaster got 4th. So maybe it was right before that, right?
I can't remember if it was 5th. I think it was 5th. Yeah, he lost to Valmaster's Nakali. Because apparently a lot of the setups don't work on Nakali that he was using. And he couldn't deal with his neutral jumps as well.
That's the move of the game right there, man.
So yeah, I know he was pretty pissed with himself going out to Valmaster. But yeah, did all right, did good. Of course, we had Mr. Crimson as well, who won Winter Clash with Laura. She's a good character, man. I think all the characters are good in this game.
Did that guy join any other tournaments since winning?
There haven't really been a lot. They have stuff like going on in Lyon, which is where he's from, in France. We've got Red Bull Kumite coming up, so I would imagine we'll see him there. That's in Paris, end of the month.
End of the month.
It's going to be.
I was thinking this week or something. That'll be fun. I loved the presentation last year.
Oh, it was amazing, incredible. I watched it on the stream because I was working, but it was incredible, and I'm looking forward to it this year.
Hopefully, it's not just a repeat of good ideas. I mean, I would like to see some new stuff as well. I like that after you lose, it's not just the peace, get out of here. You know, like I remember SBO was like, you lose, that's it. You know, like you have to shamefully give your press pass to like the guy on stage, and then walk towards the crowd. The winner goes to the backstage where there's like fucking food and everything.
The walk of shame.
Exactly.
Good shit. We need more of that. I
Walk
love
of
that
shame for
stuff.
Red Bull Kumite is a little bit different. It's like it's kind of cool.
You got to like unlock the fucking door and put your all kinds of stuff. It's kind of weird.
It's a
But
really
yeah, it's a great venue as well. The venue's fucking awesome as well. It's like massive theater. So yeah, pretty cool.
Are you going this year? Are you able to?
Sorry?
Are you going this year?
Oh yeah, I'll be there this year. So yeah, be good. But yeah, we keep getting off the topic. But yeah, hype spotting. So yeah, Luffy was using Armika now because he loves boobs, basically.
That is actually true for the people that aren't in the know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The tits guy.
Yep.
He's definitely a titties guy. Tig old biddies.
Professional podcast, guys.
No, it's not.
Whatever, man.
When's my paycheck coming through, Kim?
I know,
Holding
it's like,
Well,
paid for it.
it's money and not telling us.
Well,
Where is
it's like $3.17 even when I go to YouTube, whatever it's
Fucking
called.
bother over here.
We haven't had 3,000 views. What are you talking about?
I think it's
Total.
$3.17 or something. I remember that number for no reason.
It was good, man. It was good. It was good. It was a good event. It was a good top 8. We saw some really good play. Some solid chuns in there as well. Rise Brian was good with chun. He was getting most of his stuff off. I like it when I see people finish combos with medium spinning bird kick. That's always a good sign. And Real Menace, who's like a talented UK Tekken player. And he did use Rufus in Street Fighter 4, but he was using Chun, and again, he was playing pretty solid. He had a really good match with Problem X as well.
Closest, was he the closest to beating him? I know it was either
He went
3-1 or 2-1?
Yeah, he went 2-1 up. He went 2-1 up. Yeah. So if it was best 2 out of 3, he would have lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a talented player. He always has been.
Yeah, I was telling you this earlier, but looks like UK has a lot of promising new players. I didn't know these names before, even in Street Fighter 4.
I think that's more a problem of the fact that just the FGC community, the worldwide community, is basically American media paying attention to Japanese and Asian players. So like Europe kind of gets lost, and it's like you have Ryan Hart and Ali Yoon, and then Luffy won Evo, so people know Luffy now. And outside of that, people are not really paying attention to what's going on, and that's why we kind of do this podcast, because we're representing the different regions and talking about what's going on. And there's some really talented players here. We might not have the composure and the tournament experience that a lot of the guys have in America and Asia, but like we've got some incredibly solid, creative young players that have come up with some really good stuff. You know, they know what they're doing. It's a new generation, so they're not just approaching it on a, I just want to win and keep stuff to myself mentality. Like they're all working together. It's been great to see all the young guys in the UK Street Fighter 5 scene sort of working together in sort of like groups and stuff. Like we've had WhatsApp groups for years, so this whole Discord thing's very funny because we've been talking together and working together for ages, and it's nice to see the guys stepping up and starting to travel a bit more as well now. So.
It's kind of ironic because when I think of the European scene, the first thing I think of is you guys hold really good events from the community.
Yep.
Made by the community, from the community, and like the presentation is, I mean, aside from Evo, I would say that it's better than American presentation, because usually like CEO and stuff like that, CEO is an exception actually, to be honest. But other majors, I mean, it's just top 8. You see the match, and then an interview at the end with James Chen at the table, and that's about it, right? I see Europeans are always trying to do something new, you know.
Well, we have a good pedigree in like streams. James Bardolph with Arms House was the guy that I started working with on our Winner Stays On weeklies, and we were always innovating new stuff, trying to use like action replays, which you saw in like the infamous Gandhi video at DreamHack. There's loads of stuff that we're trying to do, always trying to implement and change and improve. We are fortunate in that we have different organizations here in Europe, like DreamHack, which is an enormous esports event, and it's been going on for years. We kind of like just bolt onto that, so we have access to a lot of their stuff, or things like the Red Bull Kumite, which is coming up, and Red Bull have got limitless marketing budgets to spend, so it always looks great. And at the same time, we've got great community events like the Hype Spotting guys. There was a bit of controversy about the stream and stuff going down and Street Fighter 5 Top 32 not being streamed, but the actual event and the venue was incredible. The vibe in there was great. Everyone had a really good time, and for the most part, it was excellent. So yeah, I mean, we are very fortunate in that regard. It's just the number of events, and I guess we're spread out as well because different countries. It makes it more difficult to travel than it does in the States because you've got your internal domestic flights are way different from us flying, from country to country or getting the Eurostar across Paris. But the events that we do have are great, so if we can get to them, they're always good.
So people out there, tweet your favorite European player and tell them that they're relevant, and not just Luffy. Luffy, Luffy, Gagapa, who's the other guys you said again?
Like Reinhardt and Problem X, of course, are well known. But we've had good players for years, like Andreas and F-Word were really talented SF4 players. Andreas was a player that got noticed using his Rufus playing against, the Japanese. They noticed him. Of course, Zach Bennett was a guy that was doing stuff early on. In SF4, and then with Marvel as well, and he got out there, a very innovative player, and he's still relatively young as well, so doesn't really get involved as much anymore because he's doing so well with his work. But we've always had a pedigree of like good young players coming through, and it's continuing. We've got guys like Pax and Hurricane, who are both very talented. Afi, who we mentioned before. And guys, across the country that are doing stuff, and new guys coming through with Street Fighter 5 as well. Brian, who came third, losing to Luffy in losers final at Hype Spotting, is a Scottish player, and he's done really well in this new version of the game.
Pretty good. I kind of feel that the tournament experience overwhelmed him. But I think I can kind of see it as they were playing Problem X and Luffy as they were playing him. They just felt more comfortable, more seasoned in those situations, and he was kind of just playing his own game. He wasn't he wasn't tripping too much and making like bad decisions, but he didn't like push it hard enough. If that makes any sense. Like Problem X and Luffy, they knew what the situation was. They knew that remain calm and whatever. They knew that like maybe they adapted better than he did. And that's probably why
I said that about Real Menace as well, actually, when he was playing. For guys like Problem and Luffy being on that stage in front of 500 people that were watching at the time, playing for top honors, that's nothing new to them because they've been doing it for years across Europe and across the world. In fact, Problem and Luffy both were at the CPT finals in December and did really well, but. For these other guys, maybe being in those situations are not they're not as comfortable in those situations, and it does affect their thought process. And I think that maybe is the main weakness of Europe as a territory, as a region. Just the mental fortitude, the composure in those situations. But that's something you can only really build up with experience. And the guys are traveling a lot more. We've got the CPT event, so they're attracting more players, and they're just more attractive to want to spend the money and time to travel to. So the guys are leveling up and improving all the time, and should be great.
I have a question for Long, since me and Long are dinosaurs in this community. Do you
What?
do you remember like the first time you realized that you weren't that nervous anymore in tournaments? Like I kind of vividly remember it. I don't know.
Really?
It used to be, yeah. For me, it used to be like an issue. Like I'd care who my opponent was, and I would be like, oh, I don't want to choke at this moment or whatever, right? But I remember when it all went away.
I don't distinctly remember. I think I've always been nervous,
Yeah, I mean, you're always nervous
but
to
it
a point, but
it didn't really affect me that much. I knew I was nervous, but it didn't really affect me because of my play style. Because it was very like automatic. You know, I could be nervous, but I could still do the same stuff. I don't care. I'm still gonna cross up Tatsu. I don't give a shit. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I think
it just goes away. I mean, it's not like, in all honesty, Problem and Luffy, I don't think they're going to admit that they're like really nervous. I mean, maybe that's your opinion of how they are, but no one in their right mind is going to say, yeah, I get too nervous right now or something like that. I think they have too much experience where they should just be over that, you know?
Also, I think it's just Street Fighter 5. It's just too hard to tell if someone's nervous. It's just a hard ass game. Like,
I think top players look like scrubs. A lot of top players look like they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
At this moment right now, like everyone looks like a fool at some point or another.
What I see mostly is people are way too respectful. You know, they're too like hesitant. They're not doing what they should be doing. They're not being aggressive enough. That's what I see. I don't really attribute it to nerves. I just attribute it to like, oh shit, like, is this real? They're not sure enough just because they haven't played the game long enough because the game is new. That's what I see, at least.
I mean, we can just make that segue to the display lag thing that I want to mention from here.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay, I'll bring it up. All right, so I'll include the links in the YouTube description just so people know that I'm not talking out of my ass. So as everyone knows, the Capcom Pro Tour is not using PC. We are using the PlayStation 4 from Sony. And even though this game is designed very well, it's pretty fun for everybody involved, there's one issue that people seem to just gloss over. They just mention it, but they don't go into detail. Maybe because they don't have the facts about it. But I would like to bring it up, and I would like to get Logan and Long's opinion on what they feel about display lag in the PS4 version of the game. The first link you'll see in the description is that the PS4 version of the game has 7.3 frames of lag. Considering Ken's dash, for example, being 15 frames, and the normal human reaction time of about 12 frames. I'll also include the study on the human reaction time also in the link below. That technically means that being a reactionary player in this game doesn't really work. And the just do it style is very strong in this game. Since reacting isn't that good, it's not viable in all honesty. It's not that it's not good, it's more anticipation, which is what a lot of people are doing in this game. I think you're gonna jump, this is where you want to escape getting chipped to death or whatever, so the situation, but it's not a pure reaction because it's not possible in my opinion. What do you guys think about that?
I see people reacting to dash all the time with jab in this game.
On PC?
PS4.
PS4?
PS4. Definitely happens.
And I've done it as well, but I mean, I can't say that I'm going to be doing it every time, because if you're doing it every time, you definitely think about it. You're not
this is
yeah, go ahead.
No, this is the thing about what you're talking about. Yeah, okay. But this is the thing, like what you're saying is, if you guys are just standing there like this, right?
We can't
like footsies. Yeah. It's okay. Anywhere, if you're standing like you're playing footsies or whatever, and there's no anticipation, right? And they just abruptly dash at you. That's way harder to react to than like a particular setup where like you have like this idea in the back of your mind where you saw them do like a pattern of like like with something into dash, that's way different. It's a completely different story. So the footsie game, it favors the aggressive player, right?
Yeah.
Because they're just doing it abruptly out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean,
it's way harder. Anticipation matters so much. Like, you have to be very anticipatory of anything that's coming. That's how you react better, right?
if you're attacking in this game, I guarantee you feel much better than if you're the person that has to react to being being rushed down, right? And I'm saying that it's not like, oh man, this guy's overwhelming me with his skill. Like, yes, I mean, like, his decision making is definitely the right one. It's on point. But a part of it has to do with that lag. I mean, that's not something that... I mean, as long as for Wood, I mean, I believe him because I know he does his research. I believe this 7.3 frames. It could be wrong, and my statement could be totally wrong. But... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Logan.
I just want to like compare that just to give people reference. It's not like 7.3 frames of lag on top of what you're expecting, because the Xbox version of SF4 had just over 5 frames of lag. Is that right?
5.5 or something like that. It says on the website.
That's still 30%. That's like 30%. That's crazy.
It is a lot more, but just I don't want people thinking that there's 7 frames of lag and we're used to playing SF4 on 360 and there was no lag, and all of a sudden there's 7.
Yes.
Fair.
An extra 2 frames of lag to what you're not used to playing on.
In Street Fighter 4,
and possibly an extra 1.5 compared to what we used to on Ultra on PS4. PS4 is not the best platform for fighting games in terms of the architecture, I don't think, but it's what we're on. It's what we're using.
It's what we should get used to.
Have done it better than Capcom have. I'll say that. But it is a tournament standard. It's what everyone's using. So if you're playing every day, every week on PC, and you're easily responding to dash with your jab and confirming that into combos and what have you, and then all of a sudden you go to a tournament and you're playing and you're getting counter hit when people are dashing at you like brainlessly, and you like, I don't know what's going on, and it throws you off. That's kind of your fault, because you know what you're meant to be playing on. And so if you're aware of this difference that we have now, and you're still playing on PC and you're confused why stuff's not the same, that's on you. I'm not saying it's acceptable for that to be the case, but it is the case. So if you're a competitive player, you should be doing this. And obviously when like the pro players were training up for EVO a couple of years ago, they're playing on PS3 because they knew it was different from the arcade and the Xbox 360 that they used to be playing on. So they do that to adjust timing for their shit. You're doing that, if you know that's what you're going to be playing on, if you know there are circumstances that you're going to be playing under, then train for that. If you're training for something, you need to train properly, and that includes playing in the same conditions, I guess, that you're going to be playing under in tournament, which is on a lagless monitor and on PS4. So,
word. So I mean, my thing is.
Sorry to piss Flakes.
So we're saying PC master race, right?
Well, the PC is obviously
$2,000 machine, yeah.
Yeah, if I've got a...
Oh, come on. You don't have to spend that much.
Well,
but
$100 PlayStation and a PC that's got a GTX 960 graphics card in it, I'd expect that to run it better, because it's at least double the price. So, should do. Makes sense. But that's not what we're playing on, and unfortunately Steam didn't pay to get the game made. So... And you have the problem of the fact that plugging a million sticks in and out of a PC out of the course of a day is an absolute nightmare, and half of them don't work. So
definitely an issue.
Is it as bad as having a Razer stick just malfunction on a PS4?
Well, that's because they're.
Shady.
Do you know why that happened? Because those Razer sticks were modded with old PCBs that don't work anymore and hadn't been updated to the phone. Do you remember the old converters where it used to log out after 8 minutes? The 8-minute timeout thing? You had to update your firmware. That's why that happened.
What was I using? I was using like
Fraser don't make PS4 sticks, obviously.
Sigh. So anyway, one of my points in all this is that I kind of feel that people should really think about this when determining how to play the game. There's a lot of offensive characters in this game, and being offensive is really easy for the audience to enjoy, and it's fun also, beating down someone. But I just think that if you're a reactionary player, change your style now or something, step up a little bit, work on that kind of style, because reacting to a lot of stuff and just countering stuff is going to be really hard in this game.
Dude, that is super depressing, because this game is hard enough. Even live, playing on a lagless setup or whatever, it's still hard. If someone's next to you, the game is hard as shit. You have to guess all the time. So playing,
we saw like Japanese players failing to anti-air Armika jump-ins.
The game is hard, man. And I don't know. I don't like this. Like, we just accept that we have to play on a PS4. I understand the cost of PCs and all that, but it sucks. It's just a shitty situation, because I think most top players and professional players play on PC just because it's convenient.
The other day, Fenna messaged me and he was like, "Hey man, can you confirm something real quick? I heard at Wednesday Night Fights they use PC, and on top of that they turn off VSync. And VSync, for people that don't know, in order to turn off VSync and other features to make it playable and less lag as possible, there's not just a function that you go into the game and you turn off. You have to do some fucking coding and shit.
Edit code. You have to edit the code.
Yeah. And he was like, I think, how do you pronounce that guy's name? His Zangief teammate, Veggie. Veggie was the one that taught him how to do it. He was like, "Oh my god, I'm playing so good now, reacting to everything." And I was like, "Don't do that shit. Don't do it, man. Play on PS4. Be a good boy. Play on the laptop."
Yeah, you gotta play with weights on your legs. you gotta be used to that. You can't. Stop playing for real, man. You gotta play. You gotta turn on. That there's that simulation in training mode. You could turn on lag. You gotta play with that. It sucks.
Good shit.
That's just terrible.
That's a funny option that you have too. And Vi was saying, this is what a lot of the players. This is what is right to do. This is what they want, and I'm saying that I would love to do that too if Evo was, or if the CPT was on PC, but it's not. And you guys are gonna there's gonna be a situation, at least one situation, where it's like, shit. I should have been used to lag being here, and I should have punished that accordingly. But since it's not there, and I'm waiting a little bit more than usual, I got hit by something. I got hit by a command grab. I got hit by a stand roundhouse with Bison. That situation.
Jump-ins.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I think I told you guys before. It's cool that combos are easy, but jump-ins don't give a shit about your leniency. You still have to react before the lag is up. You still have to react perfectly.
If you block a jump-in, that can lead to your death in this game. That's the funny part.
Yeah, exactly. It's shit, that's it. The game's unforgiving for sure.
Meanwhile, guys at Wednesday Night Fights are still not punishing Ken running on block, though. So
we're talking about that. Just smash that jab, right?
Fucking standing light punch, and light kick into run on block are double.
Who does that?
They're fucking double-digit negative.
Who does that? I can't believe people.
Ken in the West Coast
does that shit. Okay.
All of them. I don't do that shit. That's why I don't win. Obviously, should be doing that. It needs to be at double-digit negative frames before I can actually open.
You gotta dumb your game down. You're trying to play too smart.
You should have just done the DP in between. But yeah, there's that, and I'm very open. You guys hit me up on Twitter or the Jump In on Twitter, and let us know what you think about that, because it's not really talked about, this whole lag issue. It's a human reaction, 12 frames. Plus 7.3 frames lag. Okay, Ken's dash is 15, plus his 4-frame jab. You already lost because you have to press the button to counter that. It's. I don't know why people don't really mention it too much. It's a big deal.
Yeah, because it's one of those things.
it's not like Ken's dash at 15 frames is like way above everyone else's as well, because Ryu's is 16. You know, like
I understand.
17 frame dashes are very normal. So even when you do factor in the 7 frames of lag and the normals and what have you, like, you know, I mean, actually, if you add it up, 16 frame dash plus a 3 frame jab is the same as Ken dashing in at 15 with a 4 frame. So, you know, and Ryu's a lot more prevalent than Ken is out there. So I definitely hear your point about it affecting playstyles, because you're changing the architecture and the environment in which you're playing in. So it will naturally favor things which benefit from those changes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure like an offensive playstyle would work better than maybe like a lame dry playstyle. And we saw that with what Marn was doing to people. You know, he's getting jump-ins with that super high priority jump light kick that Mika's got.
Amazing.
He was up in the corner, which you can't really react to when it's a side switch situation, and blocking Nadeshko when she comes in, and all that stuff that you can't. That is harder to do in those conditions. But then at the same time, people weren't punishing Irish Whip on block, and people were not stopping drop kicks coming in with a normal, and any of that other stuff. So yeah, it is an issue, but I don't want people to focus on it and just like.
It is what it is, for sure.
We have as a community, we do have a habit of latching on to things and using them as an excuse for other shit that we can definitely work on, you know? Mm-hmm. So yes, there is lag. Yes, it is going to affect the play style a bit, but adjust accordingly. And you know, whenever Combo Theme was going around showing the game off, it was all about, you know, attack, pressure, frame traps, everything. So I guess that's what they wanted people to do anyway, right?
Well, I mean, it's not like they can promote like, hey man, you can have the best defense in Street Fighter 5. they can't say that. Like, you can attack all day, you know, like be offensive, matches can go quick, can have a lot of fun, you know, whatever, right? Like they don't promote Floyd Mayweather as blocking a lot, right, or being super defensive. It's not what they would do. So being offensive, yeah, it's awesome, man. It's appealing to everybody. It's just it's not everyone's natural thing like to be good at. You know what I'm saying? And you might have only a few styles, despite what they've told you. You might have a few styles that you can use in tournament.
Well, we saw, you know, going back to it, we saw Problem X playing a very efficient lame style. Infiltration is playing a very efficient lame style as well. It's generally 80% keep away, 80% no risk taken, very explosive bursts of damage. You know, maybe a dash up with Nash that you're not ready for because he's been walking back across the stage for 60 seconds and you're frustrated. Or, you know, maybe it's Bison just zoning you out and being boring and wait until he gets V-trigger and then opening you up like a tin of beans in 15 seconds.
Yeah, and so when Problem and Infiltration are winning, I mean, they're winning because they're making the right judgment call. I'm not saying they're winning because of fucking lag or anything like that. They put the pressure on the opponent and then boom, like it was all the credit goes to them.
I think what they're doing as well is they're playing in a style which is it's like mentally breaking their opponent in that the opponents are getting frustrated and wanting to overextend themselves, and when they do, they're punishing them for doing that. You know, if you're playing against someone who's happy to just walk backwards and get into the corner and then V reversal and then get out or what have you, or just block you out until you lose your turn, you start taking risks. You know, you start trying to steal turns back. You start trying to press buttons that you shouldn't really be pressing because you haven't got that much frame advantage, and they're just taking you know, they're making the most of those openings. They're being very patient, and I think that's the optimal way of playing Street Fighter 5. I think the optimal way of playing Street Fighter 5 is just being very conservative with your normals. Don't rush shit down brainlessly. Don't jump in from all over the place. Don't just do shit because you've got buttons and you must press them. It's about waiting because the burst damage is so high in this game for so many characters, you know.
Have you gotten a
I
chance
think-
to hear or to read Juna's tweet about Daigo's opinion on Street Fighter 4 players and Street Fighter 5 players?
I saw the thing regarding Street Fighter 5 being more tech-based and Street Fighter 5 being player-based,
Yes, exactly.
player skill-based. But I think Street Fighter 5, I think there's a bit of both in there, because
So
you can be one of those. You can be one of those ST players that is entirely down on reads and gut instinct and what have you,
and
and
being old.
doing stuff because you feel it's going to work. But in Street Fighter 5, you need to have that information to hand when you know it's beneficial to you to do things, when you know the frame advantage or disadvantage in all the situations, so you can make an informed decision. It's not about making guess; it's about making reads. And reads you need information for. So if you're not clued up on what the frame advantage is in different situations, you're not going to know what your most likely, the most likely option your opponent is going to go for. And then you can counter. And that's the cool thing about Street Fighter 5. If you know what your opponent's going to do, there's always a counter for it in this game. There's V reversal, there's 3 wake up options, or 2 if it's a throw, or 1 if it's a crush counter sweep. It's very rock paper scissors, and you need to know your opponent's options as well as your own. And I think that's why Infiltration did so well, because it was like he had his setups down, he had his meaty setups down, but he also very clearly knew what Takedo was going for when he was pressuring him, and just was happy to wait for his opportunity. Oh, you've done back hard kick, cool, I'm going to jab OS tech it with no risk, and then I'll V reversal the second hit and I'm out the corner. Thanks, cheers. And he wasn't really able to adjust to it, and I think that was the big difference. Just Infiltration clearly had more knowledge on the game.
I just imagine like Daigo writing it down. He's like, Street Fighter 4 about tech and setups, Street Fighter 5 about the player. And as soon as he writes that tweet, he like goes into training mode. He goes into training mode, and he figures out how to be Infiltration.
Yeah,
It's kind of true though, right? Because like
he spent the whole time on his stream in training mode with Nash. The whole stream, sitting in training mode with Nash, trying to learn. So
Absolutely, training mode is like one of the most important things in like this generation of fighting games, for sure. Street
in
Fighter
any
5
fighting game.
it's no exception. This game is no exception. It's not. You got mad skills, and then boom, you're gonna win. Like there is.
Yeah, no, I think this is what I surmise from what he's saying about that, because like Street Fighter 5 is easy in that it's technically easy, so everyone has all the tech. Like if you see a setup, you can do it. There are no barriers for your execution, so everyone can do everything. That's why. So everyone kind of equalizes on the same playing field.
Yes.
And then it becomes rock paper scissors. Way easier than Street Fighter 4 becomes rock paper scissors, because Street Fighter 4 there's a lot of stuff people mess up. People mess up their setups. There's one frame setups, like you do a sweep with Akuma and you have to time your jump for a safe jump.
Yeah.
There's none of that in Street Fighter 5. It's just basically if you know something, then you know that you can do it.
Yeah.
That's why it's more read based than Street Fighter 4. I think that's what he meant.
In general, I totally agree with what he's saying. I'm just saying that like. No, training mode is extremely important still.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, like
I still think there's difficult things in this game. Like killing frames for meaty setups is not any easier in Street Fighter 5 than it was in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
And
It is easier. It's way easier
How is it?
because of the leniency.
What do you mean
Just do it.
leniency? You can't kill frames with leniency.
you can't be lenient,
can.
son.
If you let's say okay, my setup with Ken, I throw in the corner, then I do whiffs, crouching jab,
Yeah.
then I just mash on crouching strong. The leniency of whiffing the jab, it gives me 3 frames to just mash strong. In Street Fighter 4, I had to plink the strong. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So you've got 3 frames instead of 2 frames. It's not like that's not the hardest thing in the universe, is it?
Yeah, but it's easy. It's very easy. That's what makes killing frames easy in this game, because of leniency. Just 3 frames. You just press the button when you're
Let
whiffing
me
or whatever.
give you a lenient example. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So after Alex does his V trigger, and then you have like a billion. You have like 5 seconds to like do a combo, right? You can just do this to jab, do this, and it's gonna combo.
Yeah.
In Street Fighter 4, that's never gonna be possible.
Yeah, combos definitely 100%, and that's the thing that I really like about this game in terms of the new people coming in. If you watch grand finals of Street Fighter 5 and you see someone do something sick, you can turn training mode on and do that within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're watching grand finals of Stunfest with Daigo versus Momochi, and Daigo does a 28-hit combo with like 5 one-frame links in it, that's like completing completing a Mario level. You know, like you gotta keep going back over and over and over again until you can get. I got past this bit. Now I have to keep going and doing it again. And it's really hard to recreate what you see. So Shady made a very, very good point in that, like, the execution barrier of this game is not hard in that sense. But then you have so many other things which are hard to do, like I think single button hit confirms are where technical skill comes in. That's where you're going to be able to show off that you can do something that no one else can do. You know, if you can confirm Ken's back medium punch every time, then like people will be impressed by that. The same way they'll be impressed by doing one-frame links in Street Fighter 4.
Ken players will be impressed.
I think other people will be as well eventually when they realise how hard it is, and people understand what you're doing a bit more. But in terms of the highest level of this game, it is generally decisions that win, rather than. You know, you play any old scrub online and they're not dropping combos. You know, they land everything. Well, apart from me, but any other scrub online, they're not dropping combos. They'll convert off all their openings.
Let me give you another scenario that is very technical based. Let's say you land like a stray attack. The only example I can think of at the moment, since I play Bison, so when you do Devil's Reverse, you're hitting someone at like a different height if they're jumping, right? Therefore, there is no like set timing to do something. It's really hard to time your meaty from that situation. I mean, of course, off a throw, off of a command throw, off of a grounded attack that leaves you in a certain state. Yes, that a monkey can do that kind of setup, right? But the stray attacks is where Nakali's jab or Chun-Li's jab. That's when those things like come into play. That's when it's going to hit.
The best example of that is Nakali standing light kick, because unlike pretty much every other light attack in the game, that thing's got 4 active frames on it. So getting something to hit that's got 4 active frames compared to something that's got 2 active frames is worlds apart in terms of difficulty levels. And a lot of the moves in this game are not active for very long, especially as a Ken player. A lot of them are not active for very long. His Fierce and his Roundhouse are both active for 2 frames. Like, do you know how hard it is to get that shit to hit meaty? But it's a lot harder to. It's in those scramble situations, definitely. You know, like you're dashing under, you want to get stuff to. It's definitely harder.
Would you say that it's not possible to do every time, because the kick, wake up, and he can't react to that. You know, let's not talk about.
Oh no, you're not meant to be able to react to that.
Yeah, that's a tough situation, man. Like the high Tani for sure is gonna mash. Like, why would you not mash on jab? You know, you want to be in a worse situation?
Well, there are obviously, we spoke about this before, but those characters that have got 4 frame active medium and heavy buttons can cover both options, like Laura and Nakali and Karin, off the top of my head. They can cover both wake up options with their 4 frame active frames. But yeah, for normal fair characters like Ken, for example, who's you have to guess, you have to make a beat.
Honorable character.
Yeah, he's so honourable. He really is. I really like Ken's design.
Do you use his new costume? Fucking Biff. Wait, is that available? It is available for sure. Why would you not use that color? I would totally use that color. That's a troll, man.
That character just needs a paper bag over his head.
Just play the piece.
In every costume, they're all terrible. His face, he's got wooden teeth. Like, he looks like Austin Powers. He's got yellow, horrible teeth, weird-looking face, banana haircut, awful, terrible design.
He's like an Armenian.
He's got that pervert stare.
Although his character model is not as bad as Alex's, which is quite possibly the worst ever.
I've kind of gotten accustomed to it, actually. It's not as bad as it was before.
Yeah, he looks very
looks-
weird.
He still looks dumb,
Yeah.
but
I suppose if like all you're eating every day is shit food, accustomed to eating shit food, right?
I don't know. All of those PC mods are pretty good. Well, not all of them. I won't say that, but a lot of them are.
Oh, I saw one that came out like in the first day that looked. They had the third strike hair, and the face looked normal. It's great, good work. I wish Capcom hired you rather than the fucking pups they've got designing their shit. But
Back to the Future graphics designer.
terrible. At least it doesn't look as bad as KOF though. So there's that. Thankfully.
I hope that game is good too. I mean, more options is always better. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure the game will be good. The backgrounds look beautiful in it as well. By the way, if we're on a tangent. Yeah, character models look like they should be on an iOS game.
That's true.
You've been messing around with Alex a bit, right? How are you finding him?
Well, I mean, I have. I don't know if you're talking to Shady though. Me or Shady?
I was talking to you. Shady doesn't play this game.
He thinks.
No,
He thinks that
I actually haven't played since Alex came out. I think it's great though. I mean, I played him for like a couple of hours in training mode, and I was like, wow, this is a lot of cheap stuff. But apparently,
man, Jesus Christ, does he hurt when he hits you?
I think he's very interesting in the fact that he doesn't have. His defensive. Okay, I'll just start with the weaknesses. His defensive options are not the best. They're not.
but that's everyone. But
Yeah,
everyone says that, but that's like a half the characters like
yes,
that.
yes. But I mean, let's put a new tier up there. Okay, characters that have
Okay.
3-frame moves. All right, that's one. Characters that have command grabs. That's another one. I'll put command grab characters as the first tier.
Reversals.
Yeah, and then DPs, of course, invincible reversals. The fourth one should be anti-air stand jab. If your character has that, and if you have all four, then you're top tier for sure. So
Me.
Nakali isn't top tier though, so I don't understand.
I think he's really good. I think he depends on. Oh, by the way, Kazunoko's back to Nakali at the esports arena thing that I went to today. Oh, I'll put that in the link also.
maybe.
But there's a new arcade in Tokyo for all you visitors out there. He's using Nakali. I can't.
We'll talk about that properly, actually, but let's talk about Alex a bit more. I want to talk about this esports arena because that's really important in terms of like the culture, what's going on in Japan and how things are changing. So yeah, we'll talk about that properly. But yeah, this Alex guy, man,
It's like a truck.
Yeah.
Stand jab anti-air, which is a pretty good anti-air because it's like getting hit by Birdie's crushing media punch. You fall into a mix-up. Alex is no different. You fall into a safe frame trap, or you fall into a damaging command grab, which leads all of these tech videos are out there already. Alex has legit setups.
I think Alex is a very interesting character design in this game.
I like his VC.
I think his command grab is a red herring. His command grab's a red herring. His command grab is there just as a tool of fear to get you to do something on your wake up, be that try and jump, backdash, press a button, anything.
It's like Laura.
Because if all you had to do against Alex was block, he wouldn't give a shit. He's got slow, long range normals. You just block him, zone him out. It's fine. But when he knocks you down and he can put you in those situations where he's meeting you and he's got frame advantage, if you can get a 3-frame advantage on you, then he's got that medium punch or power bomb mix up, which makes people do dumb shit. It's the same way Armika. If you watch Marn play, he doesn't really rinse the command grab. It's generally lights and meaties, and he just waits for you to do shit. And when you're killing yourself against him, and Alex again is a character where if he can bait your DP,
You're done.
stand fist crush counter into fierce chop into the back suplex thing, that does like 300 damage for no bar. It's horrible.
I think the difference between Alex and other Vortex characters that are command grab based, I think the difference is that, for example, when Laura hits you, it's always the same amount of max damage that she can do each time, right? Alex suddenly does this much damage. Like, right? like he'll do a setup that does like this much, and then bam, suddenly it's this much, right? Like I think that really throws off the. Once hopefully Alex players can master this, I think once that's understood by the player, because remember in Third Strike how Makoto could kill you up one command grab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't get to that point for a
Really
while.
famous round against
You were on tilt from the very beginning if you're Akuma, but I'm just saying like, but yeah. But then like with Alex, like through time when people truly understand his potential, they're going to play a little bit more differently because they understand that, okay, even though I have this much life right now, it doesn't really matter, you know? Like
using one hit.
Yeah. It's kind of a joke. It does a lot of damage. Jesus Christ. It's not
No, I think he's great. I think he's so sick.
I don't know.
I really like that he just basically capitalizes on those openings that he creates from psychology. I like that. It's not like he can just vortex you and meet you into situations where you have to take this and that and what have you. Like, because you could, if he gets a knockdown from certain situations, he's doing meaty flash chop or meaty hard kick. You can kind of you can sort of see those on PC. You definitely can see them anyway. So he's kind of putting himself at risk to like reversals against when characters do have like DPs, for example.
If the opponent sits there, then he's gonna dash command grab, which he's gonna take a risk, right? I mean, exactly
because he can't dash after command grab anyway.
Sure.
He can't dash after forward throw as well, I don't think, and press a button anyway. So he's relying on you staying put, and he's got the normals to make you stay put. He's got great sort of mid-range normals, like crouching medium punch is brilliant, crouching medium kick, stand medium kick, and then that fierce that hits from way far away, that donkey punch to the back of your neck.
Does he have another fierce? I know he has the clothesline one, the layer. I think it's
the
called.
Clothesline one. That's great as a meaty as well. That's like +3 on block, which is the magic number for Alex anyway. So if he gets you knocked down in the corner, which he should do because he's got great corner carry on a lot of his stuff when he's in V-trigger anyway, he can do that and have some great frame advantage. And then you get into that mix up of medium punch and power bomb. So I think he's a good character. I definitely think he's a good character. It's an interesting dynamic as well because he's not, as I said, he's not really a true grappler in the sense that Geef, T-Hawk, and Hugo were. Well, even Hugo's kind of a hybrid, but your Zangief and T-Hawk sort of mold. He's got really interesting buttons, and just he does most of his damage from big combos from you making the wrong decision.
And his dash is pretty fucking crazy for a grappler.
Yeah, he's
19 frames.
Tremendous.
It's actually really good for the threat he puts out when he's next to you, and he can combo into EX chop from just a low short. That's actually kind of insane. Like Laura can't even do.
I don't know why. I miss that kind of a lot too. It's weird from the crouching short to the standing jab. The timing is a bit odd because you have to cancel the jab immediately, right? Like, it is. Yeah, I miss it often.
Oh, you've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, because after the jab, you have to cancel it immediately. But from low short to stand jab, it's a bit of a link. Yeah.
He's got some weird cancel timings on his normals because I found this difficult when I first played with him. The jab cancel into anything is like bang bang so fast.
Yeah.
But when you're canceling like fierce or medium punch, it's like bang. Oh, there we go. But like there's a big gap in the cancel. So yeah, you do have to definitely drill that a lot and get that down. But it's so powerful that he can get stuff from a crouch short.
It's definitely doable. It's not something that's gonna be too much.
And he's got the EX knee as well, which gives you a throw knockdown as well, which is so strong.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about him.
Isn't that his best knockdown actually? Like maybe you can. Yeah. Because he's plus something. It's much more. It's much more than.
It's either. I think it's 2 or 3.
2 or 3 after the dash. After the dash or what?
After the dash.
Yeah.
You can counter hit standing strong.
I will say though that his normals look good, but I think they require a lot of commitment though, because once you stick out an attack, it retracts for a while. So you don't want to just you know, like with Bison, like I'll admit, like I can just press stand forward pretty much risk-free. I mean, I might have to block a jump in, which is already kind of bad. But with Alex, you'll get hit. You know, it's
Yeah.
you can't just spam. They're good. That's why I'm more attracted to Alex's design rather than Zangief and stuff like that, because his normals are more to what I'm accustomed to. You know, how I want to play. So I'm giving him some thought. Maybe I'll give him a chance. Second, my sub character or some shit. But in a
Well, it's not like
Alex is good.
just to learn a new character, right?
Sorry, say it again.
So it's not like it takes ages to learn a new character or anything in this game anyway. So, you know, like to get the basics down, you can jump in training mode for a couple of days and have most of the stuff that you need, and then it's just going and playing against people, which makes it fun.
Did you find this this phenomenon like right now there's 17, 16 characters? Like when you first got the game, you weren't like, I'm going to test out every character. But when Alex came out, you're like, I'm going to definitely test out Alex. I think everyone had that. So everyone knows a lot more about Alex than they do about some other random character that they don't use, you know? Even if they don't plan to use Alex, I kind of see that happening.
It was like a new toy, I guess. Like people got a new toy, so they wanted to play with it. Yeah. And that the day Alex, the day Alex came out, everyone was online playing Alex. So.
I like how the ranking boards, it has like people's main characters as Alex, even though you know that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Arturo and I don't know, Ricky and like I think F-Chep is actually Alex at the moment. He's number one again.
Wow.
I don't see him using Alex though. But
I saw Daigo using Alex as well.
I didn't click on that video, but yeah, I can see it too. He's always had this thing for Zangief. Like he's used Zangief, like even in CVS 1. Like Zangief is that character that he goes to. It feels like when he just wants to have fun. Like Ryu is his main character for sure. If Ryu sucks, he's gonna go to Guile, and he'll always play Zangief just for fun.
Oh yeah, when he wants to turn his brain off, he'll play Zangief. That makes sense. If he wants to dumb down his game, play like an idiot. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh man,
I love Zangief players. I think they're so smart.
Yeah, they're definitely not wasting my time when I'm playing.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah, man, I have to run away from you. I get it. Cool, awesome. Being able to combo into 720 is kind of good, pretty good. Sorry, next topic.
Hey, so there's a rumor. You hear this? Guile is an X character.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Guile. We need, like I've been saying, we need some control in this game.
Some proper zoning, yeah?
Yeah, we need some proper zoning. None of this just, oh yeah, this guy jumped in for free. Oh, I'm dead. I'm in the corner. We need someone to you know,
do you think that was
equalize.
Do you think that was by design? They're like, we'll just like not give anyone any control, and then when the new characters come out, they're gonna pay mad Skrilla.
Maybe. I mean that's just good business, right?
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that he can maintain down charge whilst moving. That's a rumor that I heard.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's great.
I'm using Guile then. Ghoulie. My favorite character for 8 years on Street Fighter 4. You know, it's so weird that no one picked Guile against Bison. Just like they just didn't learn him enough to beat Bison. I've only played Guile like a handful of times in 8 years. It's so funny.
But the thing is, like, when you pick Guile on a Bison, that's like picking Sagat on a Geef player.
It's like bullying a little kid or something.
That's what I do.
Like,
I hella do that
one
shit.
matchup, you definitely know it's going to be that one. Yeah. So a lot of people just didn't bother.
It's like, I don't know why people don't do that kind of stuff. Hey, it's like someone walks with you want $100? Yes. Okay, then why don't you pick Sagat versus Geef? I do that shit all the time.
I think if Guile was a Vortex character, like it would happen more. But he has to play kind of lame, and a lot of people aren't really good at that style. I kind of think that had something to do with it.
Okay. That's why I played in Super. He was so fun.
In Street Fighter 5, though, I mean, I hope they release some pictures before. I mean, this is April already, right? So he should be here anytime, any second now, right? Maybe, you know, at the end of the podcast after you're done listening.
It's not April enough. It needs to be more April.
Yeah, like 2017 April.
It's not Aprilist yet. When it's the Aprilist, then we'll have him. Yeah, I want to talk about this esports arena, man, because that's something that we've already seen happen in the States. You know, Wednesday Night Fights, of course, is there in a big esports arena. That's why I've got all those PCs.
Successfully doing it too.
We do our weekly in London. The guys, they run that in Meltdown Bar, which again is a LAN cafe, and it's mainly based around PC gamers. We do play on console in there on PS4, but it is set up all the time with PCs for them to do their League of Legends and whatever shit they're doing in there.
Are you guys bringing your own equipment?
Yeah, we load in well, sorry, I don't run it. I just turn up now and then. The guys that do the stream for our Capcom show, Unequaled Media, they're the guys that run Bracket Reset. But yeah, it seems to be the new go-to thing rather than the arcade. And obviously, we look at Japan as like the last bastion of arcade culture.
Not anymore. Not for fighting games.
Not for SF5, of course. No. So yeah, what's going on? Tell us about it. What was it like? Who was there? What's the atmosphere like? And what's the reaction from the public to it?
Alrighty, so I mean, Street Fighter V has been out for like 2 months now, and one of the things that has been missing is just interacting with other players. You know, like today. So this esports arena located in Akihabara, the nerd and electronic central of Tokyo. Everyone goes there to buy like the little anime figurines and game joysticks and stuff like that. In this area, there is it's basically a gaming cafe. It's called Esports Arena. It's about 7 minutes away from the train station, the main train station. And this is where you can play Street Fighter V and talk to all the celebrities you see on streams and meet up with other players. This is basically $10 entry. You got to buy a drink. Oh, no. Yes, you have to buy at least one drink, which is like $300, or which is $3. And there is there's 4 setups head-to-head. 4 setups for people who have 3,000 LP or below. So it's basically the beginner cabinet, so that they can, learn the game and stuff like that. There's 2 streaming stations, and there is about 7 expert setups. And everyone, a lot of the people that you would expect to be there were there. Usually Nemo was there, but this time he wasn't there. Fudo, Haitani, KSK. A lot of the lower upper tier of Street Fighter 4 was there as well. Who else was there? Kazunoko was there with his Nakali. I don't know if that was just casuals, but I personally believe Kami's a bit too honest, and he needs a little bit more Street Fighter 5 in his life to win and beat LP.
I mean, he needs a command grab. So yeah, just use Nakali. Makes sense.
Yeah. Relatively speaking, $13 for. I think they charge per hour though. You go in, they give you this little like members card thing, and then when you leave is when you pay, because that's when they know how long you've been there. I believe it's $10 an hour, but even in Japan, that is pretty cheap. I was telling you this before, but you spend $1 per game for Street Fighter 4, so you play 10 times, or you lose 10 times rather. You paid about the same thing, and you could play much more games.
I guess it's more expensive if you're a good player.
It's more expensive if you're a bad player, right? Or you mean Street Fighter 4 or Street Fighter 5?
I mean, so you're spending less money in the SF4 arcades if you're a good player than you are at the esports thing, because you get by on less credits, right?
Yeah, and so
and you're pumping money into it, then you're gonna.
Yeah, they're just little coins too. It feels like it's not a lot of money for people that don't live in Japan. Yeah, and this is pretty awesome. I met quite a few number of people that I've never met before. I got my ish pushed in by Rashid, and it was really frustrating at the moment. But I just went up to him and I was like, "Man, how the hell did I get myself out of the corner?" Right? And then I identified what was the 2 situations that gave me the most trouble. He just gave it to me. He just gave me the direct. So he even threw out something that I never thought about too. He was like, his little EX fireball cancel where he has a spin meter to apply legit pressure, or he can like create a gap by doing a hard kick version of Hurricane, which leaves him to attack more, but you have to press an attack in between, right? He was saying that you could possibly option select an EX move in between there, so that no matter which situation that Rashid decides to do, your EX will come out to counter. I'm assuming the gap, the one that where he does a hard kick hurricane. And so, my point in all of this is that I couldn't get that from playing online because I've been playing online for like 2 months or whatever, right? Yeah, and it's all my experience, and playing online is not really fun because you don't really meet a lot of people. But they've successfully recreated the arcade experience, in my opinion. It's only every Wednesday though, which sucks. But it's a Wednesday for 3 hours with 100 people. 100 people. Even on a random day at a good arcade, you couldn't get 100 people. So people are really appreciate that this opportunity, if you will, is there. So a lot of people are. I don't. Sorry, I hear an echo at the moment. I don't know if you changed anything. No, okay. A lot of people realize that maybe Japan kind of has it. They kind of take it for granted. They didn't have that arcade struggle, So now they're like, shit, we don't have arcades anymore. And the people are traveling like over an hour. I know a lot of those guys. They're not from Tokyo. They're going there. I know a girl that has to take an hour and a half bullet train. That's like an 8-hour car ride. She went there and she went back at the very last train. That's amazing. That's pretty awesome. And I'm gonna go every Wednesday now because I see other people are going to. I feel really motivated just having this community back, if you will. So if you guys ever come to Tokyo, I would definitely recommend checking out this esports cafe. Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. and all you can play. Just pay $10 an hour. Check it out. It's in I'll put that link also in the description below.
I think it's so important to play with people that you can speak to afterwards. That's really important. And you don't really. I mean, you can have conversations with people that you play online afterwards, but being able to sit next to someone and like, oh, do you mind if I just try this out? And what can I do here? And what was that thing you did? Like, where did that hit? What was, is there a gap there? What is that on block? What's that setup? Blah, 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 blah. So being able to exchange that information is really important.
And you actually get to see the person behind the madness, if you will. You put a face to it, you'd be like, oh, you also look crazy in person. Cool, that's great, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that makes sense. You would do that.
Yeah. But actually, the one of the more refreshing things is there are new players, and you can put a face to it. It's not just we're speaking this moon speak, and we're like, oh, we think there's new players, but it's majority of the same player. I would say that most of the people in that cafe, at least for this past Wednesday, was new players. Most of the
didn't have Kuroda sitting in the corner like on his own trying to pick up girls and shit in there. No.
Kuroda was not there, no. But
he's waiting for Q.
There's a lot of new players. A lot of new players, and I mean, like, a lot of people already know this about Japan, but Japan is like, you don't have, like, it's top players in America, they can go to Japan, and they can lose to random people that they've never heard of. And these random people are good, of course, but it's just like a whole different experience that they're not used to, Every player has this same realization. Like, I remember Dominion, I think his only time in Japan when he came for SBO, the last year of SBO, he was like, you haven't experienced real Street Fighter until you came to Japan. And I get what he was saying because he's probably just so used to just bullying everyone and kind of taking it easy, trying to learn what he's trying to try something new, but at the same time going easy on his opponents, And I had that same feeling for Street Fighter 5. I was like, okay, I'm a little bit humbled right now, like, this platinum rank doesn't mean shit right now to this Rashid jumping all over me. You know what I'm saying?
I really enjoyed like just going into Shinjuku Taito Station and like there's just random guys in there chain smoking in suits that have just come there from work and they'll just bang you up with like Sagat or something. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a very different experience, and I think I know a handful of players that haven't been to Japan that have been playing forever, like Sanford for example. Like, he's very good, but he hasn't had that experience yet. Like, you will. Why did Siri just turn on? I didn't say Siri. I said Sanford, buddy. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot my point, but go to it. It's good shit.
Check it out, man.
in the States, I mean, you guys have been used to this transition already, and I mean, like I get it too. It's not like a foreign idea to me or anything like that. But without arcades in Japan, it was just like I was just playing because I have all these years of like being competitive. Like if I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't be playing. I'd be like, cool, this game doesn't have a shop. Cool, I'm gonna go to the gym now or something. Do something. Learn how to fight orthodox instead of southpaw. Do something fun with my time. But I have all these years of playing Street Fighter at 7-Eleven and knowing what the community could be or was like. And I'm glad that this experience has come back. Good stuff. Sorry to bore you, Shady. Your camera is you looking hella bored right now.
That's actually happening. It's not frozen. Just no.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that seems to be this week's topics covered. Do we have any questions? Did we get any people leaving any comments and shit? Kim, you're in charge of that social media stuff.
Let's see here.
Hey, by the way, when's the next major or whatever? I'm excited to see Alex in
Premier ranking.
play.
Or you probably mean ranking then.
Just any game.
Any.
Tournament. What's the next tournament?
Anything meaningful.
I will give you an answer in a second. West Coast Warzone? So this past week was Hype Spotting, yeah? West Coast Warzone's on the 15th. Yeah. It's probably wonderful.
Okay.
Probably wonderful.
Jam Festival in Brazil is this upcoming weekend.
What's it called again?
Okay.
9th and 10th.
What's it called again?
Jam Festival in Brazil.
Wonder if anyone's going to that from out of.
And then we've got West Coast Warzone and then Texas Showdown after that as well.
Yo, Long, come on, go to West Coast Warzone. It's only like 3 hours away from you. Come on, buddy, do it.
Is it next weekend?
It's on the 15th.
Yeah.
No, there's no way I can do that.
Texas Showdown after that. You should live in Texas. You should go there too. You have no excuse now.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Texas is awful. Why would I want to go back there? I actually went there a couple months ago for New Year's. It was a terrible experience.
How Vietnamese of you.
Definitely don't fit in Texas.
Exactly. There's a lot of Vietnamese people in Texas.
And being hot. And food product.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, we might look at this Brazil tournament on the weekend, but you might not hear from us in 2 weeks. Apologies if that's the case. But yeah, please leave if you've got any questions or anything. We'd love to answer some questions next time round on the episodes. So if you've got any questions, leave them as comments on the YouTube videos or send them into @thejumpin on Twitter. Do you have an email address yet, Kim?
thejumpinShow@gmail.com. thejumpinShow.
That's very easy. Put that in the description, please, Kim, if you can do that. And if you have any questions about Street Fighter 5 or the community at large and what have you, or what utensils Kim has in his kitchen there behind him, if you want to ask any questions about that.
Well, actually, I'll make a quick comment. So, for example, if you guys disagree with the whole display lag stuff, like I want you guys to just mention it, and we'll talk about it next time in our next episode.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I want to mention is that a lot of the YouTube comments, they're like little random things that I can't really say anything to. I mean, if you guys give me a second, I can give you some examples. It would be like a correction, or I don't know. This isn't a real one, but Nash's V trigger is not invincible, and then I'll be like, I didn't say it's invincible or something like that. It was just to be something if you guys there's a lot of stuff I just don't understand. What's the point of making a comment over that? If you wanna contribute.
No, it's that.
Sorry.
It's just that mentality of I got you. You didn't know this. They just want to one up you. They just want to point out oh, you're stupid.
I'm always happy to hear new information.
None of our fans are stupid, okay? Don't say that. I'm just saying that, you guys want to make comments, I would like to mention them. I would like to add on to them,
Some people are stupid. Come on. I'm not saying I remember any in particular. I'm just saying in general. You know, on average.
I need at least
Leave
one
it.
example. Come on, guys. A lot of people are very happy about the full upload immediately on SoundCloud. I'll continue doing that. You know, I will put the video footage in like 30-minute segments or so. That's just how YouTube rolls.
And of course, you can subscribe on iTunes as well and get that automatically as when we release episodes. So do that too.
Yes. iTunes, SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/the-jump-in, and youtube.com/c/the-jump-in, all one word. And you can hit us up on our email, I suppose, also, you know, or you just leave us a comment, and we'll be happy.
What was that email again?
thejumpinShow@gmail.com. I mean, we want to interact with our fans. There was last week I talked about the bison costume. And it only works in the European region. I mean, some people hit me up for it, and I gave it to them. So, you know,
Okay.
it pays off
Sweet.
to mouth off to us, you know.
All right, that brings us to a close. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be in touch with you very soon with more Street Fighter 5 rambling, I guess.
Action.
Cheerio.
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 I'm going to go and make some tea now.